Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Enchanted Ivy from Allplay. Enchanted Ivy is a solo game that's going to give you a series of puzzles to play through, and a cat. The cat comes in the box, not actually in the box. This is a prototype, all rules and components subject to change, and I'll have a link to the crowdfunding campaign down below. I should also note that Allplay, who publishes this game, they are a channel sponsor. While they are not sponsoring this video, they do sponsor the channel in general. Please take any potential biases into account and decide if you value my opinion on this or not. I will attempt to be as true to myself and my opinion as possible, but you have to decide if you still trust what I say. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into this. This is a solo game. You're going to be playing through a bunch of scenarios. It's not really a campaign. There's like things you can unlock a little bit, so like a little roguelite adjacent, but not really. I believe the game is going to have 10 scenarios if I'm not mistaken. There are 4 in this prototype, and each one is a set of a puzzle that you have to go through. It's going to give you specific guests that you are trying to put into the wall that you build. It's going to tell you how many cards you need for the shape that you're building out. It's going to tell you how many points you need and any special requirements that you are attempting to see. You can get a good sense of how this plays out if you watch the playthrough on the channel. I did a playthrough together with Meg. Yes, this is a solo game, but also, like many solo games like this, you could plan and optimize together and try to figure out if 2 heads are indeed better than 1 as you attempt to get all the goals. With that said, the way you play through the game is you're going to take 2 cards. You're also going to take a guest from the bag of guests, again, the ones matching the scenario. So I'm going to take 2 guests from the bag, and every turn you're going to place 1 guest and 2 cards. Now you are trying to build a shape. In this specific scenario, you're trying to build, let's go ahead and show you over here. In this specific scenario, you're building out, let's see, this shape over here. Again, prototype as far as that goes. No, not that shape, not that shape, over here. Next page, where is this? Over here, 1 page, there we go. This is the shape we're trying to build out for this scenario. These are the scores you're trying to get, and these are the goals you are trying to get. So let's go ahead and try to build out that shape. And again, you could adjust as you go, as long as everything you do makes it so that the shape is still viable. Now, if we have over here the washer specifically wants to have gaps between her and the next guest. So you want to see empty spaces between her and the next guest on that wall. Meanwhile, the alchemist over here, this one wants 3 points per white or blue flowers in the alchemist column. We're going to try to work our way towards building out the washer. We know that the alchemist wants cards in its column, so we're going to take the washer, put it out over here. We're going to put the washer this away. I'm inclined to play through the whole game. You know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do for funsies over here, there is a full playthrough on the channel, but I'm going to start doing the first 2 of these so you can see how to play. And then when I'm done with the review, I'm going to finish playing it out because it's fun and I want to see if I can actually do it. With that said, we placed the washer down. We placed her in one of these balconies over here. You're going to place 1 card face down and 1 card face up as far as the way the balconies are presented. And that's going to be our starting row. Meanwhile, we're going to hold on to the other guests. Then we're going to draw 1 more guest in the bag and 2 more cards. So you always have 2 cards you're placing and 1 guest. And these are reversible. They have the same shape configuration. The only difference is whether you have the balcony or not. Everything else is exactly the same. The fire breather wants 3 points per wall or empty space diagonally adjacent to the fire breather. Now we also know that, again, we know what kind of building in advance. We know the alchemist wants to be in a space with white or blue flowers in the alchemist column. So I think we're going to try to place this like this. Is that a good spot to go? Because if we do that, we are working towards that. We're going to have this over here, but we might not have the others. We're going to try to make this work. We'll see if we can. So we're going to place that out like this. And I'm going to place the fire breather out in their column. The alternative is we could just place the alchemist in that column and worry about the fire breather later. That might make more sense. So we're going to place the alchemist down over here like so, hoping to connect it later. We could possibly connect it now if you want, but I also want to work towards, is there a better way to do it this way? This way might be better because it opens up that way and that way. We already have the down coming that way. We're going to do that. Let's take 1 more turn and then you'll get a sense of how this plays and we'll dive into my thoughts and opinions and all that. So now we have the butterfly whisperer. She wants 2 points per flower type in the butterfly whisperer's row. So she wants flower variety. And also this scenario has a specific goal where between the alchemist and the butterfly whisperer, you want to score 15 points and you want them on the same color. So we do want to put the butterfly whisperer on blue. Fortunately, from our next cards, we do have blue coming up. Now this is where it gets tricky because we do want, I think I'm going to put the butterfly whisperer down here. I kind of want to, but I don't at the same time because the tricky part here is this would be very tricky to make that work. We can't do this over here, so this has to be, did I already mess up a little bit? I think I already did mess up a little bit as far as the way that goes, because this could be row 2, but we can't build this into row 3. We could have above you in row 4. Nope, we can't. This would have to be the top of that row. I think I already messed up a little bit, but not necessarily the worst. Let's place this out somewhere else over here. We do want this to be in that row or column because that will give us that. But then if we're doing that anyway, we could put her into here, which would give us a nice variety of flowers, but this would make it impossible to score, so we don't want to do that. Instead, I think we do want to go down here like so. That's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. And then we're going to place her down into here. So she's going to go over here and try to score for flower variety on this row instead. That's basically what we're doing here. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to stop. But the basic idea is you are trying to build the shape that you need based on the specific scenario requirements. You're also trying to optimize the score. In this case, we want 65 points for the minimum score and 80 points for the, hey, you're really good at this game score. And then you also want to complete both goals. There are two different goals in play as far as how you're trying to make it all come together. That's basically what's going on here as far as the game goes. I'm going to go ahead and dive into my review. If you want to see a full gameplay play out, the basic idea is you're going to have 18 cards for this scenario. You're going to place all of those. You have 10 guests. You're going to be placing 9 of those 10 guests. Each guest has a different way that they score. You also have Ivy. Ivy is going to be the fact that you want to create connected paths of Ivy, because the fewer paths of Ivy you have, the fewer groups of Ivy, the more points you score. So if you have separate groups, you get less points. Fewer groups, you get more points, and you're trying to balance all of that while also placing down a door as well that will score you points, and that's going to be how you play Enchanted Ivy. Which is a good time to dive into my thoughts and opinions on this, my review, what I like, don't like, and all of that. I really enjoy this game. This is exactly the kind of optimization puzzle that I like. It has you trying to get to a certain level of score here while making it very hard to do so, meaning getting all 4 goals, which you don't actually have to, by the way. The way the game is structured is you can get this goal this game, that goal this game. For me, my personal challenge is getting all the goals in a single game. That's what accomplishment is in this. And I have found that it takes multiple plays to get there. It is not something you do on your first play, it's not something you do on your second play. So far, only one of the scenarios have I gotten all 4 goals, and I think it took me like 6 plays to get all 4 goals in one game. But there is this process of like learning the combinations. You're like, oh, this one wants that one wants this one needs to be next to guests, that wants to be away from guests. And as you start to chart out the pathway and learn from your mistakes as you make mistakes in it, you start to get better at trying to optimize, and each scenario is different, which is another thing I like about the game. I like that the game is scenario driven. As much as a good solo game with like, here's a puzzle, try to optimize your score can be fun, I particularly enjoy solo puzzles that give you a scenario restrictions around how that scenario works. You're using these guests, you're building that shape, and you have these extra goals on top of it. Those are consistently my favorite solo experiences. Things like Calico, Cascadia, for Northwood. When you have not just a core system, but you have specific scenarios around that core system, that keeps me diving back into it because I want to beat every single scenario. I want to try to optimize and challenge myself and go through and get them all done and make it hard enough that I feel accomplished when I do so. If there's 10 scenarios and each one gives me 6 plays before I get it right, before I actually finally get all 4, that's what hard mode is, and that to me is 60 plays of the game before I want more scenarios. Before I need more scenarios. This is a challenging solo experience that you can play cooperatively as well, as you try to optimize the various needs of a lot of different guests as you try to make it all work, and every game is going to play out a bit different. I thoroughly enjoy exactly the type of game this is, not to mention the presentation is charming and lovely. It's like very, very cute. It's cute artwork. It's cute artwork. It's a great package. It's a solo game. Everything about this is exactly the kind of thing I like. As far as what I don't like, there's nothing that I don't like in the game except for the fact that I want there to be more scenarios already. I'm already looking at this and thinking 10 scenarios, that's what, 40 to 60 plays, 40 to 70 plays, depending on how well I do it. And the plays aren't that long. You can play through a full game of this. Depending how fast or how optimized you're going, you can play through a game in 10 minutes, you can play through a game in 20, 25 minutes. It's not that long to go through it. And especially when you're doing those repeat plays, I would say each scenario is probably around an hour for me to get to the maximum goal. I've only done one so far, but like I've only gotten to the all 4 in one scenario. But because you're playing it through rapidly, because you learned it already, you keep going faster and faster, it's probably about an hour to an hour and a half of playtime before you master a scenario. And because I like what this puzzle is doing, I want there to be 20 scenarios. 20 is like enough. I can deal with 20. More is even better, but 10 just feels like a little too few. So my biggest complaint is the fact that this type of game, as much as I enjoy a solo experience that gives you scenarios, the other side of that equation, when you drop the, what's it called? You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, is that the expression? With the other shoe dropping and those types of things, is that there is a sense of completion that makes you a little more reticent to jump back into it. Meaning if you're playing a typical solo game, you play it, you win or you lose, and you come back and you do it again. Even if you win, you come back and you do it again. When you have scenario-specific goals to go through, there is something that feeds into that completionist mindset that when you do complete it, it can take a long time before you jump back in. Going to things like Calico, when I finally did beat all 10 scenarios in Calico, I kind of stopped playing Calico solo for about 2 years until I felt, okay, great, enough time has passed, I'm going to do them all again. So I do go back to it, but because of that sense of completion, I do almost want more content, so I feel that full sense. And Calico has 10 scenarios, but Calico is also a competitive game, so it gives you more gameplay out of it. I want more gameplay out of this already. As far as I can see others not liking, the biggest thing is just going to be, first of all, you have to like this style of game. If you don't like this kind of solo puzzly optimization, then it's not for you. And the other thing is, luck is definitely a factor. And this is similar to things like Calico, 4 Northwood, all of those. The order that things come out, both the cards and the guests, absolutely play a part in how likely you are to be able to optimize around the scenario goals. Because you can play the best game possible, if things come out in an order that doesn't serve you, that is going to play a part, and that means you're playing both strategically to try to optimize, but you're also at the victim of how things play out. So it's luck driven, it's strategy driven, luck dependent, if that makes sense. As far as final thoughts on Enchanted Ivy, I love it. This is exactly the kind of puzzle I like. I was not super excited about this one because I didn't know what to expect. When I first heard about the whole campaign, I knew there was Mountain Goat's Legacy, which, by the way, is part of this campaign. But then I heard about a solo game, and I was like, oh, fun. Allplay's doing a nice little solo game. I will absolutely try it out. I was intrigued, but I wasn't excited because solo games are a dime a dozen. What's the chance that this is going to be the type of game that lands with me compared to just being a good game? Allplay makes a lot of good games. Some of them really land with me, some of them less so. But I absolutely adore Enchanted Ivy. I think this is it's doing exactly the kind of solo puzzle I like. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. There's a part of me that wants to go all the way up, but I'm not ready to do so yet. Part of that's that I need more content. Also, this prototype only has 4 sessions to go through, so I've only played through the 4 sessions it has. I've already done all of them multiple times already, but I need more time. For right now, it is a 4.5 out of 5. If you like solo puzzles, if you like any of the games I've mentioned, this is definitely one you should check out. Speaking of the games I mentioned, you should definitely check out, like I said already, Calico is very much the kind of vibe I have when I play this, that optimization puzzle, as I try to make it all work and realize I slowly can't, and then play it again and again and again until I master the scenario. It very much gave me vibes of that. I'll also say that while I didn't enjoy this other game as much, you might enjoy, I think, is it called The Lonely Inn? Oh my gosh, no, not The Lonely Inn. It's from Buttonshy. Ugly Griffin Inn? Is that what it's called? Ugly Griffin Inn? I think it's called Ugly Griffin Inn. From Buttonshy Games, there's a small little game, an 18 card game about trying to make all the guests' need fit into it. I believe it's called Ugly Griffin Inn. It does kind of have the same vibe. I didn't enjoy that one quite as much. The nature of you kind of have this cascading aspect of people leaving and coming all the time, which is a little different, but it does kind of hit those same notes, so there's a decent chance that if you like one, you'll like the other. For me, I was fine with that one, and I love this, so it's both a recommendation and also a little less so for how it worked for me personally. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one. I'm just waiting for enough time to pass, and then I'm going to go keep playing. Okay, let's play the game. So, we need 2 more cards. We need 1 more guest. We currently have the Fire Breather. We also have the, this one is the Botanist. 4 points per surrounding space with the same flower color as the Botanist space. What's funny is if you watch the gameplay with myself and Meg, purple is exactly the color that came out with the Botanist as well. Now, I think based on the way we built this board, we kind of have to have this as our empty spot. So we could have the Botanist down here. The cat goes there, obviously. But we could have, hey Calico, hey Calcifer. Calcifer, how's it going? Where do you want to go? Oh, you want to go around? Okay, that's fine. We're going to put the Botanist down over here, I believe. Well, we want to make sure we can trace a pathway. This one does not work. This one does work. But then if that's the case, we need to make sure it's accessible. Oh no. Oh no! Because we need to have a pathway of flowers, but this can go like this. That works. That does work. Again, cat comes with the game. This is a different cat that comes with the game, obviously. Alright, 2 more cards. Let's move this up a little bit just so we have it all on camera. I know the shape we're building towards. I know that we need the cat to score optimally. I know this is not going to work out the way we want. This is game 2 of this specific scenario, trying to achieve perfection. So, we have this over here, these 2. We want white and blue in this column. We want, this is supposed to go over here. I forgot to put that there. Okay, so you want purple flowers around you, which is going to be hard. You're not going to get a lot of points out of that. We have the monk as well, which is not great. Now we could put something up here, but I don't think that we could put the thing up there. That's not bad actually, but we really want to have the white should be in this column here. Now we could actually just do the following. We could build that there. Let's see. If we build this here, this would work. Nope, that was not going to work. Not going to work. So this won't group this up. I want to get one patch of ivy, so this won't work as well here. So once it's not working as well here, it is not crazy to go have this be up top, because that works nicely. But then this, well, this can go up top here if this will cooperate. This could cooperate. We're not sure. It might cooperate. It might. So if we place that up there, and we place this guy over here, we still need this to come around, but I think we can make it work. Because then we're going to try to chase a pathway from the cat all the way around in a circle, basically. So we have our next two cards coming out. We have one more guest in the bag. We have our painter. This painter over here is interesting. We do ideally want to put something down here. Purple would be great. Does this work? Whoops. And that one's not great because it leaves this disconnected. But if we go here, then that could be connected. We can flip this around like so, but we want white in that. We need to have the flower colors and things going on. So if we place this here, this is not going to score. This isn't going to score, but I think it's still... No, we want white there. We want white there, which means this can't go over there. How many purples are there? If there's 20 cards, there's got to be more purples. I don't know. Well, we got purple over here. There's 3 purples. There's got to be more. I think it's 4 of each color, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know the 2 that were taken out. So this might be our last chance to get a purple here, but then we can't get the color we want over there. So let's go ahead and continue this process of trying to figure out, because we have the fire breather. The fire breather could go down over here, but then we need to have this like so. That could work if the fire breather goes over here. That's not the worst. Not necessarily the best, but not the worst. Because we still have the possibility we'd only get 3 more, which means this would be 1, 2, 3 for 9 points. And then 1, 2, 3 for 6 points. That would be 15. We're not optimizing as well as I'd like. Is there a better way to optimize? If we go here, if you go like this, that could theoretically work. And then you go like this, that leaves this cut off, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem. As long as we can come around and connect it, that's a big if. But you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to go for that if. We're going to see if we can do that, make that if work. Although I guess this can come now this way if we do it that way. So we're going to put the fire breather down here, and that gives us a different color disparity. We're going to draw 2 more cards, because effectively we're trying to get different colors in this row. So every additional point we get, like you really want to get as many points as possible. We have the Fool, 3 points per wall or empty space above the Fool in their column. Now this is important because we do want to kind of get, we want to get color disparity, but we also want to get white flowers here and connect that. So that was helpful as far as this going over here. But we don't necessarily need it to be empty in this case. But placing this down over here, it would deny the full points, but it would give us a chunk, 1, 2, 3 points, which is not bad at all. But we'd have to put this like so, and that would create a different grouping. Now we could hypothetically pair it up later, so it might be worth doing anyway. I think it's worth doing anyway. So we're going to place the Fool over here, because again, that way we can still have a chaining group of the cats coming around in theory. And the Fool's going to score a lot of points. We may have forced ourselves to create 2 groups of ivy. We're going to take another token out. We have 2 more cards. We're only placing 2 more. Uh-oh. If we do 1 here and 1 here, oh, we're not going to be able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it. Okay, fine. So we messed up again. So it's fine. This is good. This shows you that it's really challenging to get it all to work. So we want to put these in one of the columns. If we messed up anyway, if the cat's not going to be in play helping us, then it is in our best interest to try to have... If we do this like this, then this won't be grouped up, which I don't want that. I want this grouped up because I want the painter over here ideally. So if we place this like that, who do we have? We have the Raven Keeper. Oh, we do want the Raven Keeper up here ideally. That's a good place for the Raven Keeper. So if we're doing this here, that's not grouped up, versus that is grouped up. So this is a good place for the Raven Keeper to go. but it does mean that this is now all, we're going to have 2 different groups no matter what. We can't make it so there's not 2 groups. I don't love it. I don't love it. The alternative is we ignore the Raven Keeper. We sit there and we put down the blue down here with the painter. It's going to cost us some points, but I don't see a way around it. The other way is we do this down here. That's a possibility, because then we can maybe connect it later, depending on what we draw. And then this one over here would go anywhere that would not hurt us. Is that possible? We could put it down over here like so, which is not crazy, honestly, because it limits the negative points we get from there, and it's still connected. But no matter what, it's definitely going to be separate at this point. We're gonna have 2 different groups no matter what we do. All right, let's take our last token from the bag. And we have the Raven's Keeper, and we have the cat. And we have our last 2 cards, which, oh no, we're not going to be able to do color disparity on this row. That's a darn shame. That is a darn shame. But the cat can at least get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, which is not bad for the cat to get. Better than the Raven's Keeper. So the cat won't get us the grouping of going in a circle, which is what we ideally wanted, but it still can help us. So what's the best way to make sure we don't lose out? We're going to have another grouping. We're going to have another wall. No. No, 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 no. Okay, so I don't think it matters at this point. So we're just going to place it like this. We are now going to have 3 groupings of ivy. Because we have 1 group of ivy, because this is not connected over here. They're not linked. So 1 group, 2 groups, and the rest are all... No way. No. I messed up. We have 4 groups. This is another 4th group of ivy. This is not connected either. So I really messed up. And then this does go around like that. Okay, so 4 groups of ivy. It is what it is. We're going to place the cat out, not the Raven's Keeper, and we're going to score. So let's go ahead and score this. For the Alchemist. The Alchemist... Oh, and the door... I should have placed the door down. I'm going to place the door down and say I did. I should have done that. I knew I was doing, so I'm going to place it down. Actually, now that I think about it, if I recall correctly, I may not have scored the 3 points in the gameplay for the door. Maybe I did. Anyways, I think I did actually. Alchemist. The Alchemist is going to score 1, 2, 3 because it scores blues and whites in this column. That's 9 points. The Botanist is going to score for having purple around it, which is only once, so 4 points plus 9 is 13. The Butterfly Whisperer is going to score 6 points, so because it's 3 different colors, and that's 2 points per color in its column. So that's 6 plus the... was 9 plus 4 is 13 plus 6 is 19. The cat is going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 plus my 19 is 27. The Fire Breather scores for empty spots, which is only this one over here, 3. So we're at... I need to stop trying to do this in my head. We have, which I'm going to keep doing in my head. 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 6 is 19, plus 8 is 27, plus 3 is 30. We are at 30. The Fool scores for empty rows or columns, 3 points, so 3, 3, 3. That brings us to 39. The Monk is going to score 6. It's 8 points minus 2 for each one around it, which is this guy over here. So it's going to be 6 points, so 39 plus 6 is 45. The Painter scores 4 points for the guest facing it. I'm actually just choose direction over here. And then 3 points to the next one. So that brings us from 40... I said I wasn't going to do this, but I did it again. We were at 39 plus 6, 45. Plus 7 for the Painter is 52. So we have 52. The Raven's Keeper didn't score. The Washer is going to be... Did I mess up the Washer? No. Oh, I didn't put a guess there. I don't know. I don't think I get points if there's... I think the Washer needs to have a guess. So I messed that up. This is not the best. So I think I've at 59 or whatever it was. Plus 4 groups of Ivy, which is 8. So I got like 6... I did badly. I did badly. The Washer, this, I was supposed to have a grouping over here. I specifically wanted to have like a 9-point Washer, and I did not. So I can't do that now. I failed. I did get the basic minimum score, and I got the Alchemist and Butterfly goal, which is 15 points between them, with the Alchemist and the Butterfly Whisperer being on the same color flower, and that I did. But that's the exact same thing we did in the gameplay. So yeah, I did the exact same goals again. I still didn't get 80, and I still didn't get the cat scoring 7 points with it ending next back to where it started. You kind of want to have like a tracing of guess, kind of a circle around back to where it started. That's another gameplay. It's challenging. That's game 2 for mission 3, and still only got 2 out of the 4 goals. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this this video review as well as a bonus gameplay at the end. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.